Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of Marvel's Mech Strike Draw. This is the holiday edition of Mech Strike Draw, and I'm so excited to be with you guys here today. My name is Brian, and I will be your guide as we learn how to draw the mech icon of Spider-Man. So before we get started, let me walk you through my tools of the trade. You can use whatever it is that you have around the house. You can use pencils, markers, crayons, whatever it is. The point is to keep drawing and have fun. Also, I'm going to be using a circle template. You can use one of these, but you can use the bottom of a glass or a mug or something like that. Whatever it is that you have around the house will do fine. So I'm going to use the biggest circle that I have here, and I'm going to draw a nice circle right in the middle of my paper. Just like that. Okay, now it's got these nice little marks here, so I can figure out where the center and the bottom and left and right are. Those are gonna come in handy later on. Okay, now I'm gonna draw two more circles inside. This is gonna help us as we draw the mech version of this icon. All right, now I'm gonna draw some center line going from top to bottom. So good thing I made those marks at the beginning. This is gonna help me divide up essentially what is Spider-Man's face as his icon. And then I'm gonna draw another line from left to right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw one of the eyes. So I'm gonna make a little mark just inside that circle, and I'm gonna do another one just to the left of the center part. I'm gonna put a little circle right here in the center, okay? We're gonna use that later on when we start to draw the webbing and things. So let's go ahead and start drawing this eye. So I'm gonna come up, just kind of loosely sketch this wavy line, just like that. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Try as best I can to match what I drew on the right side. Now, we're gonna swoop down, kind of following the edge we drew here on this circle. Come in just slightly towards that line. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And that's the top half of those eyes. Now we're gonna connect from this point to this point. We're gonna do that by drawing down and around, making it round on the bottom. You see I'm being nice and loose and sketchy with my lines. We can tighten those up later. I'll do the same thing on the other side, down and around. All right, so now we're going to do the inside of those eyes. We're gonna go in a little bit here and go up and over, just like that. And then follow our lines and come down and around. There we go. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. There you go. You can see you start to get those cool Spider-Man lenses. All right, just to show you right away what that's gonna look like, I'm gonna go ahead and color those in real quick. I'm gonna use my 6B and I'm gonna tighten up the inside of those eyes as well. There we go. Okay, now let's go ahead and dive into doing some of the mech stuff. So that's why we have these extra circles. So on the Spider-Man mech icon, there is a little pad that sits up here, kind of a coffin shape that sits up on top. And we're gonna go around the outside and it come up to that top line. The same thing on the other side. Follow that circle, come up. There's a lot of mech stuff that happens on the outside, but I'm gonna walk you through it, okay? Now we're gonna come up here, and then we're gonna follow the line that we did, just like that. So you got all these armor pieces that are kind of kludged on to the icon. Now we're gonna continue on the other side, add a little bit, and then we're gonna come back up. So we're gonna continue that shape, and then go around, just like that, and then down just a hair, and then around again, and down to meet that line, okay? Now we're going to come back up here again. We're gonna follow that shape, come back up, and then we're gonna come down right there, come all the way down to the inside circle, and then down all the way to the inside, down a little bit more, and then we're gonna cut over just above the tip of that eye line. We're gonna go all the way in. Okay, so we've got another cool shape there. Now, inside of this, we've got these little lights. And then we've got a shape that goes right here on the inside. It follows that inside circle. And then back down. And that's on the inside. So you got this armor piece. And there are some lines inside here. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna come down a little bit more again. Just above halfway. We're gonna go right there. And we're gonna come down the side and back in. Come down the side a little bit more. Past the halfway point, and then out. And then we're gonna come back down again. Just like that. And then this one, we're gonna follow that line. And we're gonna come in a little bit and down again. And then we're gonna come back towards our center line and then come back down again. And then this one is gonna continue all the way down. We're gonna make a series of boxes on this line. So we make another line and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we get a little bit extra detail in there. Now we're gonna cut back in. We're gonna go all the way across and then come in. We're back inside the icon again. And we're gonna come all the way down and then back in, just like that. So we're using those outside circles as guides to help us along the way. This line comes out to here and then comes in and down. We're following that outside edge. And then we're gonna come back in to our outside circle. I know it's a little complex, but you'll get the hang of it. Now we're gonna come back in again, right there. And we have another one of those little pads like we had up here. This one's a little bit bigger. So it's kind of like that shape. And this has a couple of triangles on it inside there. We're gonna come out here and do a trapezoid shape, sort of. Again, if I'm ever going too fast, you can pause the video and get caught up. And this one's gonna have lines in it just like that one did. All right, so that's the gist of the right side. I'm gonna go to a hard line here so I can outline it. Now we're gonna go down in here as well. And we're gonna follow our inside line all the way around. Okay, same thing up here. Now I'm gonna color in the areas that are black for you. So that's really the right side of Spider-Man's icon. I haven't done the webbing yet, so we'll do that in a little bit. Let's get a nice outline on that armor piece up there. Now let's go ahead and move over to the left side, and we're going to start up here at the top. So we're kind of mirroring what we did on that side. And just like the right side, it's got a couple of lights up here on the top. Those will look great when we get to put color in it. And then we're gonna do our interior shape here. We can go ahead and solidify that line and color that in black. All right, so now we're gonna go down on the left side, and here we're gonna go to our middle line, and we're gonna come up and down slightly and back into our outer circle, and then come down. And this one's not gonna be exactly mirrored. It's close, but not exactly. And we're gonna come down a little bit. It's gonna kind of do a little stair step here. Got 1, 2, and then it comes back across to the middle. All right, slightly past the middle. I'll go back up and in, and then we'll come all the way down. All right, and this piece has some lights on it too, right there. Boom, 1, 2, 3, looking cool. All right, so now we've got a big chunk on the outside over here. So this is gonna come out of that piece, and we're gonna go down and in, just like that. We're gonna follow our shape all the way down to there. We're gonna come back up and then come back down around again. And then come back in. Okay, so big shape right there. All right, now this has little notches, almost like it's a dial. I would love to know what went in to this design by Mr. Tony Stark. Now we have another pad on the inside. So we did a little pad there, and we've got another one up here. So this one's gonna sit kind of like here. And then we go out from this, and then back up, and back towards that line. And then this one comes out down here. And then we have another piece that sits here. So we'll come all the way across. Then we go up and over, following that shape. And down and over. Just like that. And then come out and down and follow our outside shape right there. We've got a little light right there. Boom. So I know that was a lot. Go ahead and pause the video, get caught up. Let's go ahead and solidify this outer edge. Let's do the inside as well. I think that helps. And we've got one more shape we're gonna draw. So this is gonna come out of here, out of our little pad. Now we're gonna connect those two pads. So we go down, and then this one comes around the inside, just like that. Then back up and towards the other pad. It gives us that shape. So let's outline that and make sure we got that. So let's go back to our coloring it in black. Okay, now we get to do my favorite part, guys, and that is doing the webbing. So we already drew the center line and the eye line. So this is gonna be a web line, so we're gonna use that. Now I'm not gonna go all the way down. I'm just going from the top to the center, okay? That's a web line, okay? Not the bottom one. All right, now I've got about right there. And then about right there, so on the same side. So I'm gonna go down to the circle from there, make a nice clean line, boom, and do the same thing on the other side. Always going back to that center point. So I just draw just like that, okay? So I'm gonna sketch these in a little bit so you guys can see exactly where they're gonna go. There you go. Okay, so those are the basic web lines. Now you got to connect them. And if you've seen any of my drawing tutorials before, you know I'm very particular about which way the webs go. They never go, the loops never go away like this. They go in towards the center. I love doing Spider-Man's webbing. It's one of my favorite things to do. So there we go. There we have basically the Spider-Man mech icon. But this is the special holiday edition, guys. So we're not just going to leave it like that. No, we're going to holiday this thing up. So I'm gonna make a very loose, kind of sketchy line all the way around. We're gonna draw a wreath around the Spider-Man icon. That'll make it really fun. Just adding a little bit of holiday flavor to this thing. Now, maybe you guys don't know exactly what these are gonna be, but those are gonna be pine cones. And we're also gonna draw a nice bow right here in the center. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little circle, and we're gonna come off of that, be in front of that other pine cone. Kind of a big bow coming off the side there. Just being nice and loose with it. And then we're gonna come down, make these big ends of the bow do not know what the technical term is for the ends of the bow, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Just like that. Okay, so you can kind of see where we're going with it. I'm gonna go ahead and make these pine cones. I'm gonna show you a real simple way to do this. So I'm gonna make just some lines like this that all shoot off of the center. You can be nice and loose and sketchy with this. Very irregular. They kind of all branch off of the center. Now, if you want to go in and really draw each and every single one of these little pine cone blades, you can. I just keep it kind of loose. And there you go. You have some quick and easy pine cones. Now let's go ahead and make the outside of our wreath. So this can, again, very irregular shapes. Just gonna make some nice irregular lines like that. Maybe we'll have a couple little lines coming off of our mech icon here. This is one of the little tricks of drawing, is that people know what it's supposed to look like, so they kind of fill in the blanks in their minds. So you are just giving a suggestion of that shape. So I don't have to go in and draw every single needle one after the other. All right, let's go ahead and finish this guy. You can see it all start to come together, guys. So you do a little detail work here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a nice outline on that bow. And I think just for added measure, I'm gonna go back in onto that bow and draw a line down the center, and a line down the center there, and a line down the center of our tail, and then the other one. And guess what? That's right, we're gonna make these have some webbing, just like our buddy Spider-Man. There you go. Some fun webbing going down that side. All right. And there you guys have it. There's our pencil sketch for the Spider-Man Mech Icon Holiday Edition. Now you're never quite done until you sign your name. So I'm gonna do that down at the bottom. My name is Brian Crosby. We're gonna go ahead and put some ink and color on this. Have a very happy holidays, and thanks for joining me today for Marvel's Mech Strike Draw Holiday Edition.